Yes. Okay. Today we will start web services.
Yeah.
Okay. First we will start what is web services and what is the advantage of web services and what is the different types of web services. We will see some theoretically.
Okay.
Okay. What is web services? First we will see and advantage we will see and types, and also we will see some of the example also. Some basic example we will see. Okay. First of all, what is web service? Web service means, suppose example. So there is one method. One method is there in my mission, or one particular method is there in my mission, in my server, in my Tomcat.
Okay.
If you want to access that one, is it possible? It is not there in your machine. It is not running in your server. It is running in my server.
Yeah, it's not possible.
So basically, it's not possible. Correct. If it is running in your server, you can able to access it.
Right.
Correct. Basically, you are running in your JVM. Just consider this is your JVM. Okay, and this is my JVM. JVM2. Okay, so you are sitting in one place. I am sitting in another place. So we want to connect. We want to exchange some information. So how it is possible? So by using web services, we can able to communicate and we can able to exchange the information.
Right.
Okay, so this is the one of the advantage. So regardless of where you are sitting, what technology, also it's another thing is, so we can able to exchange the information. Also, let's suppose you are using JVM1, so I'm sitting in different place, and another point is, regardless of technology, you no need to care about what technology I'm using, whether I'm using Java, .NET or something else. You no need to care.
Okay.
So you can able to give the request and you can able to get the response. Basically, we can able to exchange the information.
Right.
So even though even if you have an internet, we can able to connect it. That's all. We
Yeah.
can able to connect and we can able to exchange the information. So this is the one of the advantage of web
Right.
services. So one is we can able to exchange the information around the globe. And the second thing is, you no need to care about what technology opposite person is using. You no need to care, and what platform. Maybe I'm in Windows or Mac or Unix or Linux or Solaris. You no need to care. No need to care about the technology. What technology you no need to care. You can ignore. Platform you can ignore.
Yeah.
As long as you have internet connectivity, you can able to access my service from your machine.
Right.
So that is the advantage of web services. And as part of our Angular JS, right? So as part of the last example, I got some endpoint URL, correct? By using that endpoint URL, I used to get all the country information, correct?
Right.
It is one of the web service and developed by some other people. I don't know who developed. Okay, it's working. So we can able to access all the country names, description, country code as of 2-char formatter and as of 3-char formatter, correct?
Right.
So that is one of the example of web services. Because similar way, so these are the some of the advantage. So you don't need to care about technology, platform. If you have internet, that's enough.
Right.
This is some of the brief introduction of web services.
Yep.
Now come back to the type. So there is a two types of web services. How many types is there? Two types.
Okay.
One is SOAP and another one is REST.
Yeah.
Okay, these are the two types of web services. So first I will say about SOAP. SOAP nowadays, initially when we started using the web service first time, we got SOAP web services first time. This is the first one
Yeah.
people got introduced, and nowadays people are using maybe some 10% this one and 90% this one, the
REST.
usage. So nowadays everybody is running behind RESTful web services,
Yeah.
and some people are using like some very old projects, so they
Yeah.
are using SOAP web services. So the best, some simple example is for web services, right? um, if you see uh, this is the example I can give, real-time example. Let's suppose, you know, right, online booking system,
Yes.
bus booking system. So let's
Yeah.
suppose there is maybe n number of travels, right? Travel
Yeah.
one, travel two, travel two. There is so many travels is there, correct?
Yeah.
So one guy, what he will do, he will develop a web service.
Yeah.
He will develop a web service. No, he will develop a website. Okay, this is an online booking system. Okay, online booking system. This is the URL www.onlinebookingsystem.com. Okay, so you log
Yeah.
in here and you are trying to book a ticket one place to another place. And
Yeah.
what these people will do, these people will interact with so many travels.
Yeah.
Okay, what these travels people will do, they will expose a web service. They will expose a web service and they will give their live data. So currently right now we have 32 seats, 20 seats, 11 seats. So they will
Yeah.
get this information, this website people, and they will display in their website.
Yeah.
This is a live data, right?
Yeah.
So if 32 became 30, then if next time if you log in, you will see 30 here,
30 here.
20, 11. So basically information is not there with the website holder. So they are
Right.
getting information from travel people.
Other. Yeah.
So this is one of the example. Another example is if you see the fund transfer. So if you are, whenever you are trying to transfer the fund from one bank to another bank, so how they are communicating? So every bank, what they will expose the web service, correct?
Yeah.
So if you want to connect, if you want to transfer funds from JP Morgan account to Goldman Sachs,
Yeah.
currently you logged in into JP Morgan account and you are trying to transfer funds from Goldman Sachs. What they will do, they will try to communicate with the web service to Goldman Sachs and they will exchange the information.
Right.
Correct? So,
Yeah.
so this is the way to exchange the information between two different systems or two different servers which are
Right.
located at different places.
Right.
So these are the some of the examples.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what is web service, you got some idea, right?
Yeah.
And advantage and examples.
Yeah.
Okay, and types is two types, SOAP and REST. So REST nowadays, I mean, almost 80-90% of the people are using REST, and but still some people are using SOAP web service, but it's very less.
Yeah.
Okay, that also we will see one example at least, SOAP, and we will see some 3-4 examples about REST,
Okay.
and we will see some differences. What is the difference between these two? Why
Okay.
we need to use SOAP? Why we should not use SOAP? Why we have to use REST? We will see some example. What is advantages and disadvantage? We will see.
Okay.
Okay, and now come back to first we will see a little bit difference. slight
Okay.
differences we will see. After that we will see in detail of so many differences. First, SOAP, simple object access protocol. Okay, so what it mean by SOAP, right? It is also one kind of web service. So web
Right.
service means what it will do, it will take some input, correct,
Yeah.
and finally it will give one output. So that way we can able to exchange information, correct. So you will give some input and it will respond for your input. You give input, get response back, give input, get response back, correct.
Yeah.
So this is the this is the way web service will work. So how you are giving the input, what format you are giving the input, how they will understand your input.
Okay.
This is also one question, right?
Yeah.
So let's suppose if two people are talking means whether they should know the common language,
Okay.
correct? Whether they know English or Spanish or French or something. Otherwise, they are not able to communicate, right?
Right.
In the similar way, in case of SOAP web services, input, sorry, input and output is XML.
Okay.
So input and output is XML always.
Okay.
Okay, input and output is XML always. Okay.
Yeah.
So whether you are using .NET or Java or PHP or any language, XML standard is same everywhere.
Yes.
Correct? It will not change technology to technology. It will not change.
Right.
So if you are using SOAP web service means the input is always as a XML format and output also you will get always XML format.
Right.
XML standards is same for all technologies.
Right.
Correct? Whether you are using .NET or Java or any technology, the XML standard is same. It
So,
will not change.
yeah.
Okay, so this is SOAP web services, simple way. Now come back to the REST web services. So here, right, so the input and output will take in a different format.
Okay.
So here input will take XML, mean input can be XML, comma HTML, comma JSON, comma plain text, dot dot dot, and output same thing. You can expect different type of output.
Okay.
So that is the basic difference between REST and SOAP, correct? In
Right.
case of RESTful web services, you can give input as XML, HTML, JSON, plain text, or so many things.
Right.
So this is the different basic difference between SOAP and REST.
Right.
So you can give input as XML, HTML, or JSON. If you see in our last example, right, when we are retrieving the country's information, so the in output is a JSON, correct? JavaScript object notation.
Right.
So we are getting output as a like this. You went into country name colon. So we are getting like a India, correct? So
Yeah.
this is a JavaScript object notation.
Right.
And HTML you know very well, tags, correct?
Yeah.
HTML you know, sorry, HTML you know, JSON you know, plain text you know, and XML we will see.
Okay.
What is XML? How to convert XML to Java and Java to XML. That is also possible. If we have a XML, we can able to convert to Java object. If we have a Java object, we can able to convert to XML object.
Right.
So that also we will see. So these are the some of the different types.
Right.
Okay. Now what we will do, we will see one simple example of REST web services. First we will see REST web services, and last we will see SOAP web services.
Okay.
So we'll try to develop one of the simple RESTful web services, and we will use Maven.
Okay.
Tips. So because you no need to download the jars, correct?
Yeah.
Otherwise, every time I need to give the list of the jars. So I will use Eclipse, Maven, and I will develop REST web service.
Right.
So it's so far it's clear, right?
Yep.
Okay, let me open my Eclipse. This is very important.
Yep.
If you are going inside the market, right? They will ask, do you know web service or not? One more point I want to tell you. So once you say web service, right? So they will ask two things: are you developing the web service, or are you consuming the web services?
Okay.
Now, what is the difference between developing the web service and consuming the web service? Correct. So, say take this bus online booking system. So, what these people are doing, they are consuming the web service. Correct.
Right.
Yes, they are trying to use the web service to get the information. So, this one I can say client.
Right.
So the client people, they are accessing the other web services. These are the travel people. So they developed their one web service, and they had given the endpoint URL to the users.
Okay.
So these are the developers, and these are the consumers or clients.
Okay.
So the original code is there lying with the traveler people, travel system, and the consumers are online booking system or client. So these are the client. Just they are using web services, but the original web service was developed by these travel agents.
Right.
So this is the basic two terminology you will get. Are you developing the web services, or are you consuming the web services? First, what I will do, I will develop the web services. Later on, we will see how to consume it.
Right.
So in last example, what we did, we consumed our web services. One of the web services, just we are using it, we are displaying the data. Correct?
Right.
What is that country information? Just we consumed it. We didn't develop it. Correct?
Right. Right.
Okay, these two words is clear, right?
Yep.
Because they will ask this question. Okay, now what I will do, I will try to create a simple web services. So how to create a web services, and what are the different steps is there using Maven. So first what I will do, I will create a simple web application.
Okay.
To create a web application, just right click, go to new dynamic web project. So I'm giving REST_1.
Yeah.
So this is my project name, REST_1, and rest of the things just keep as it is. Okay, next, just select generate web.xml. When you will get this option, if you will use dynamic web module as a 3.0, you will get this option.
Okay.
If you lose 2.5, by default it will generate the web.xml. You no need to select this one. So based on that, whether you are using 2.5 or 3.0, you can select it. We need a web.xml, correct?
Yep.
So I selected it and finish it. Yes, okay. So my web project is ready. If you
Yeah.
see inside SRC, empty. If you see inside web content, I have nothing. If you see inside web enough, we have only plain web.xml.
All right.
So it's generated. It's a generated one. And you see here nothing. There is no servlets, nothing. It's a plain or simple web.xml and no SRC content, no HTMLs, correct?
All right.
And this is a web project. You see the globe symbol somewhere here, correct?
Yeah.
So the second step is, right now this is not a Maven project, correct?
Yeah.
So what you have to do, you have to convert this web project into Maven project. So how
Right.
to convert it? Just right click. If you come down a little bit, right, you will see Maven option. Do you see anywhere? Yes, sorry, not Maven, configure. So there is right click on your project, right click on your project and come down, you will see configure option.
Configure. Yep.
And under configure, you will see some three options. So
Yeah.
select configure to Maven project, the last option.
Right.
Click here. And group ID, artifact ID, version war we discussed long back, right?
Yeah.
Group ID. Group ID means it's kind of organization level. Artifact means in it's kind of company name. It's kind of in a company there may be n number of projects, correct?
Right.
So you give the project name. Okay. For time being, it's giving it will generate same name, group ID and artifact ID. So that is up to you. If you want, you can keep as it is. Otherwise, you can modify. So I'm not changing anything. So I'm keeping as it is, and the default version it will start from 0.0.1 snapshot. If you want, you can change it.
Yeah.
It's editable. And the packaging is, this is a web application, correct? So the
Yeah.
packaging is a war file. It is not a simple Java project. It's a web project, correct?
Right.
So the packaging is war. This name and description is optional. If you want to mention something, you can write it. Okay, then finish it. Now it got converted to Maven project. Did you see the Maven symbol?
Yes.
So now it became a Maven project, and now we have a pom.xml.
Right.
So our pom.xml is ready. So now pom.xml is ready. Now what we have to do, we have to add dependency libraries. When we are developing a RESTful web services, we need some libraries. We need some dependency libraries. So how to get the dependency libraries? I told you, right? So we need to go to the Maven website and we need to type the which dependency you want. We need, there is a two dependencies we have to use. So when we are developing a RESTful web services, we need some dependency libraries. The dependency libraries are developed by using Jersey framework. So by using Jersey framework, we are going to develop RESTful web services.
Okay.
So we need some libraries, correct, to develop a web service, correct?
Yeah.
So the libraries are developed by some Jersey. We can say that framework, Jersey framework. So we need to download the libraries or dependencies, and we need to keep in our project.
Right.
Okay. So the dependency library, I already have it. I can get it my pom.xml. Basically, So this is the dependency. So you can say dependency, group ID, artifact ID, version, correct? So this
Right.
is the dependency. So before adding the dependency in, this is our project. So right now, did you see any dependency?
No.
We need to add it. So how to add dependency? Inside the project, just control space bar, just type dependencies. This is the parent tag. So inside that, you can able to add n number of dependency. So
Yeah.
dependency is a parent tag. Inside that, you need to add dependency. Correct?
Yeah.
So one dependency is the Jersey framework library. So this you can check in internet and you will get this one. So copy this one
Okay.
and go inside your dependency list and add it. So dependency copied 2 times. So remove this one, paste it. See now it's already downloaded. Now go back to your project and just go to Project Explorer and Maven dependency. See these jars are already downloaded.
Yeah.
So if you want to see whether it's downloaded or not, whether it's downloaded now or not, what you have to do, what you will do, you copy it and remove it, save it. Did you see dependency tag itself
No.
got removed? Now add the dependency and now see everything is there. Now just add dependency tag and remove the, did you see any dependency?
No.
Because there is no dependencies. So it got removed. Add it.
Yeah.
No error, see error is gone. So okay, now dependency is ready.
Right.
Okay, now the second and third step is just right click and go to, so if you see there you will see Maven option.
Right.
Okay, now go to update project. You need to take some updates. So it's got updated and now previously you saw some error here. Now the error is gone.
Yep.
So now your Maven project is ready and your dependencies are ready. Jersey. So basically we are using these libraries to build our web service. These 3 jars. We are using basically first Jersey framework and we are building it. And another on the top right we will see here JRE system. So what is these jars? These jars are part of your JDK. You need some JDK also, right? You need JDK plus vendor jars.
Right.
So this is your JDK and this is vendor jars. These two are your dependencies.
Yeah.
So now your dependencies are ready. Your pom.xml is ready.
Right.
Okay. Now you have to do fourth step, one more step. What is that step, you know? So this is our project, RESTfull. So in your web.xml, you need to modify, you need to add some more changes. What is that changes? I will tell you. So first, let keep only one default HTML page. So this is our web.xml. Display is
Right.
not required. Welcome page means, you know, right? Whenever you are deploying, if you want to see some default page, so we
Yeah.
need. So let me add this default HTML page. This is only for our testing purpose. So HTML. So just I created index.html and just I will say hi. This is only for testing purpose. Okay. Now in our web.xml, we need to add some more entry. What is that entries? Let me tell you. Let me copy. After that, I will explain you. I will explain each and every tag why we need it. So we need to copy these two tags, servlet and servlet mapping.
Okay.
You can copy. You will get in internet lot of examples. Okay.
Okay.
What you have to do? You have to first write what you have to create a servlet. So you no need to create a servlet. So this servlet was created by Jersey people. So what libraries we are using, right? Sorry. What libraries we are using? We are using Jersey libraries, correct?
Right.
You see inside this dependency, so there are some servlets already developed by Jersey people.
Right.
Some people, okay?
Yeah.
So these libraries, we are going to use it. So in that library, one of the servlet is servlet container.
Right.
Just we need to register the servlet com.sun.jersey API. So these people already developed one of the servlet and registered the servlet with some name. Okay, this is the servlet and this is the name I had given for my servlet. Okay.
Right.
After that, so we need to initialize some of the parameters. So this is the parameter name. So what is the advantage of this parameter, right? So we will start after this. After this step, what I will do, I will start writing one of the web service. Means I will create one Java class, my service here. Correct? So let me create a web service. First, what I will create a simple package. com.test. So package is ready. com.test. Under this package, I will start writing my service. So my service name I'll give. I will start writing class. So my class name I am giving my services.
Okay.
My services. This is my class name. You can give any name. Yeah, and finish it. So now under SRC we have created one package. Under that I have written one services.
Right.
Okay. Now go back to the web.xml. So this is clear, right? The servlet creation and servlet registration
Yeah.
and init parameter. So what is the purpose of this init parameter? Whenever we are restarting the server, so these parameters will be initialized with these values. So this is the parameter name and this is the package. So which package we need to scan? Under which package our services are available? So our services are available under com.test package.
Right.
So that package name you need to mention over here. Correct?
Yep.
Load on startup 1 means if you have 10 init parameters for one servlet, so which one should be loaded on the first? So that is load on startup 1.
Okay.
So we have only one parameter. So I'm mentioning load on startup is 1.
Yep.
Okay, this is a servlet. Now come back to the servlet mapping. So when we are trying to hit, if somebody is trying to hit your service, okay. So
Yeah.
if you see any request http localhost application /rest/ anything, so that request will come to this servlet, Jersey-servlet. So this is the servlet name, and this with this name you already registered one servlet, correct? So with this all these requests will go to Jersey servlet,
Right.
correct? Similar way, when we started developing the servlets, right, we used to create a servlet and we used to give the servlet and we used to map that one, right, URL mapping. So here
Right.
also similar way, but here we are not developing the web servlet, we are consuming the one of the existing servlet.
Okay.
So this servlet is developed by the Jersey people. So we registered that servlet in our web.xml and we are forwarding all that request to this servlet container, the servlet name itself, servlet container. This is clear, right? So far?
Yeah.
Okay, now, so far we have not developed our web services, correct?
Yeah.
So this is a service, but inside that there is no, basically what is say, services or APIs are not available. So how to develop APIs? Okay, I will do. I will show you one sample service. First, right, we need to develop a web service. Public method, simple
Okay.
method. Public void get customer info. So this is my method. So if someone, basically I will give this service to you and you will access my method, correct? You will get some information. So but we have to return something, right? So that is called response. So that is called response. So this is the method name and this is the response. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is my service name and inside my service there may be n number of methods. Correct? Okay. So this is one of the method. Okay. Now come back to the. So here you need to write here business logic, correct?
Yeah.
So how you will get the customer information? Maybe you need to connect your database and you need to manipulate so much logic and you need to prepare some response.
Right.
Right. So for our testing purpose, what I will do, I will return some of the information like this. HTML tag I will return.
Okay.
Here is your customer information. But in real time, you create a customer object and you set all the values and create a list and you return back. Correct?
Yep.
But for just for our simple testing purpose, what I am trying to do, I'm returning HTML response directly. So here, right, this is a plain text or string, correct?
Yeah.
So you are not able to return directly the plain text. What we have to do, we have to convert that one as a response dot. To return like this. So we have to return like this. So here you need to give the data. So what data you want to send to the customer or user? So here you can give customer list.
Okay.
Okay. So this is your response. This is the way to prepare or send back the response back to the user.
Right.
Okay. And okay. And another thing I want to tell you. So when you are developing, right, servlets, we used to call method get or post something, correct?
Right.
So here also we have a method concept. So if someone is trying to access our method, our API, so what method they have to use? They are posting the information or they are getting the information. So in our case, just they are getting the information, correct?
Yeah.
So you can give the method name. So they have to use get method. So just they're getting the information here, right? So they are not giving any information to you, correct? So just they're giving some information and they're giving some request and we are giving response to them. Correct?
Yeah. Yep.
So you have to mention the method name. So after that, so what is your response type? What is your response type? That is first, for time being, you will see we will ignore that one response. So method we have to use. Okay. So
Yeah.
method is like a guest, get, post, put. There is so many methods is there, but we will see slowly one by one. So the next one is what kind of response you will produce. You will give response as a HTML or XML, plain text or whatever, JSON. Correct. So that also we need to mention here. So here there is annotation tag called produces. What you will produce. So for response, whether, okay, you can use text slash HTML.
Yeah.
So this is my response type. So instead of typing this one, there are some interfaces also is there. You can mention that name. So you have to mention the response type. What is your response type? So my response type is plain text or HTML. And another one is like you can mention JSON also, text or JSON.
Okay.
In as part of this example, I am trying to return the response as a text or HTML. So this is a HTML tag, right?
Yeah.
Bold tag I mean. So this is a HTML, correct? So
Yeah.
now this is clear. So now when they are trying to access our web services, so what we have to do, if you want to, if there is 10 services, if you return 10 services, if you want to give a specific name for each service, so there is a concept called path. What is
Yeah.
path means? Customer info. So whenever they're trying to access our service, right? So in the URL, they have to use this customer info path.
Right.
Okay. Now go back to, now let me deploy it. So how to deploy it? Just right click, run as, run on server, select. So you can remove others. So I'm trying to deploy only my application. So
Okay.
before deploying it, right, what we have to, we have to create a war file, right? So how
Yeah.
to create war file? Just right click, run as, this is a Maven project, right? So you will get
Yeah.
Maven clean, Maven install. What it will do, it will generate the war file under target folder.
Okay.
If you see, you have a target folder. See right now nothing is there. So it's, you can see the steps here. It will
Yeah.
compile all the classes. Compiling, it's trying to execute JUnits. There is no JUnits. See, test results, everything is 0, 0 and build successfully. Finally, it will create a war file.
Yeah.
So it will create a war file, correct? We need a war file, right, to deploy this into our server, correct? So if you see
Okay.
inside our target, it will create a war file.
Yeah.
And all those things, test sur, surfire, this we have already discussed this, JUnits results. And inside this, you will see your classes also. How many classes you developed? So dot class file, correct?
Yeah.
So this is my service. So it will compile it, it will generate it, and it will create a war file finally. Now your war file is ready. And if you see your war file name is, what is the name it is giving? Rest underscore 1 0.001. If you don't like this name, if you want to change this name, what you have to do? Go to your web.xml. So by default, it will generate the war file like this. Okay. If you don't like this name, if you want to change it, go to your pom.xml. So you have a build, right?
Yeah.
Build tag. So under this, there is another tag. File name. So with what name you want to create war file? So I want to create RESTfull. So I want to create a war file with the simple name. I don't want to add so much version and all. Correct?
Yeah.
I don't want this much lengthy name. So I want a simple name. So now what I had to do? Again, I had to recreate the var. Correct? Right click, run as Maven install. What it will do? It will remove all the files and it will regenerate everything back. You see there, now it will clear out everything.
Yep.
Now refresh it. See, old and new is there. What do you do? Old file also is there, right? If you don't like the old file, what do you do? First, clean everything. Maven clean. First, it will remove everything. See, under target folder, now nothing is there, correct? Everything is empty. Now,
Yeah.
do install. It will create a new package, new war file. So now refresh it. So our war file is ready, correct? Now we have to deploy this war file or application into server, correct?
Yeah.
So run on server. Click. So remove all those things. I want to deploy only my rest underscore 1 and finish it.
Yeah.
Now we will see the log. Server is trying to restart. So the main here, right? We need to notice one thing. So my application is deployed and welcome page is called and it is saying hi. Correct?
Yeah.
This is only for testing purpose, but this is not our service, exact service. So now this is our URL, http colon localhost 999. This is our application. So correct. So now how to ensure your service is up and running or not? So far your web application is deployed, but how to ensure your service is working or not? Your service is deployed properly or not? There is a two ways you can ensure. If you go to your log, console log, right? If you notice very clearly, you see here one of the root resource classes found, com.test.myservice. Correct?
Yeah.
So this means your resources are loaded into the server properly.
Right.
So this is one way to know, identify. Whenever you are restarting your server, you need to see your class name. If it is not there, means something problem. It's not deployed properly. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and another way is take the URL. So how to get the application endpoint URL? Last time I told you, right, endpoint URL. So how to get the endpoint URL? So first is, what is my server? HTTP colon localhost port number, correct? So this is clear, right?
Yep.
After that, application name, correct?
Yeah.
Rest one is my application name. And you go to your web.xml. So what we are expecting, the URL should start with slash
Right.
rest, right? So what you
Yeah.
have to do, okay, open one browser. First write http colon localhost 999. So this is my localhost and rest underscore one. So this is my project, correct? So after that, what we are expecting, rest, correct? Why I am mentioning rest here, right? If you see in your web.xml, you are expecting rest as a part of your URL, correct?
Right.
Rest slash after that anything. Star means anything. Okay,
Yeah.
rest slash. So after that, give one more slash. Type this one, application dot wdl. Press enter. Application dot wdl. This is a stand. So what is the purpose of this one, right? If you see here, right, you can able to understand what is your service name, customer info, and what is the method name, and what is the method, and what is the response type.
Right.
You can able to access this information from your machine also. But
Right.
here, if you are trying to access this information from your machine, instead of localhost, you need to give my IP address.
Okay.
So that is the my IP address or my server name.
Yeah.
Correct? So
Yeah.
that is the only difference. If I'll give this URL to you, you need to type this IP address, my IP address, and you can able to see the service information.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
Now our service is up and running. Now how to access our service? So this is my API name path, correct? Customer information. Copy
Right.
this one. Now just remove this application.wdl, paste customer information, press enter. You are getting the hi, here is your customer information, correct?
Right.
You can able to access this information from your machine also.
Okay.
So this is the sample web service and it is giving response as a HTML text, correct?
Yep.
This is the HTML. I am displaying it a bold format, right?
Yeah.
So this is a way to test web services. And another
Okay.
thing I told you, right? Method. We have to use method get or post. So by default, if you hit from the browser, right, it will give method name as a get always.
Right.
So say for instance, if I will develop one more service, if I want to develop another service, what you have to do? Copy the same thing, paste it here, and give some different name. Get account info. So this is some
Awesome.
different name, and here you can modify the here is your account information, and here you can mention post. So this is a different service. Correct. Now the question is, so this is the parent name, customer info, correct? If you see the
Right.
URL, right, customer info. So inside customer info, how many APIs is there right now? How many methods is there? Two is there, right? So this is one method and this is another method, correct?
Right.
So if they want to access, if you want to give a specific name to this method, you can give as a path. So how to give that path? So here you need to mention slash cust info. This is a similar way you can give account info. So now it got rebuilt. Now go back to your service. Now there is two APIs is there, right? One is customer info, another one is account information, correct?
Right.
So how to see that one? How user knows that method names and all? So what you have to do? Again, you have to go to the application.wdl, click this one. You will see under customer information, one will give customer info and another will give account info, correct?
Yeah.
So if you pass this one as input, customer info slash, sorry, press enter. So you are getting which information? Customer information. So if you want to retrieve account information, what you have to do? SCC info, press enter. Sorry. So here you will get exception. Why you are getting this exception? Tell me. I am not able to retrieve account information because account information method is post, correct?
Yep.
So account information method is post, whereas customer information method is get. So that's what I designed here, correct? If you see the method is post here, you see the method is get here, correct? So if you want to retrieve account information, you have to pass method name as a get, and if you want to retrieve customer information, you have to pass method name as a post. But if you will test from the browser, right? So browser will give method name always as a get. For
Right.
account information, method name is post. So method name conflict is coming, then it is telling method is not allowed. So you are trying to retrieve account information by passing the method name as a get. So that will not work, correct? So that is wrong, right? What is the method name here?
Post.
Post. So we have to use post. So there is another way to test it. So I will show you. First I will test it directly, and tomorrow I will explain you how to install it, how to configure it.
Okay.
So there is so many tools is there to test these web services.
Okay.
That also I will explain you. So for testing, how to test, like to test your Java code, right? You are writing JUnits, right?
Yeah.
The similar way to test web services, there are some tools is there. One tool name is REST client. So how you will get, so if you see your Firefox, right, you will see some red icon, but you will not get it. You need to add one plugin, so that I will tell you later. Tomorrow I will tell you how to add that plugin and how to get this red icon. Okay, now
Yep.
take the URL from, this is the URL, account information. I want to retrieve it.
Okay.
Paste the URL here. And what is the method I have to use?
Post.
Post. Select the corresponding method and click it. See the response body. So what it's telling, you see the plain response body, it is a HTML tag, correct? And
Yeah.
if you see, here is your account information. So this is the response.
Yeah.
The similar way, if you want to retrieve, what is the another one is customer info, right? Customer info. And what is the method for that one? Get, correct?
Yeah.
The customer info get. Let's suppose I am trying to retrieve the customer information, but I am giving the method name as a post. This is wrong, right?
Yep.
So let me click it. What you will get? So you are getting 405 method not allowed. Why? Because for customer information, method name is get, correct?
Yeah.
Give the corresponding method name and endpoint URL. Right now, we are not giving any input, correct? There is no request information.
Right.
If at all, if you need to pass any request information, we have to give here. And this is your response body. Click it. So you are getting here customer information.
Okay.
So this is the request body and this is the response body. So you see the request body, see the response. So how you will get this tool, how to use it, tomorrow I will tell you. So how you will
Okay.
get this option and all. This is just
Okay.
to see some overall picture, some kind of
Okay.
introduction.
Okay.
I mean, so far it is clear except this testing part, how we
Yeah.
are developing and all. So this example is clear, right?
Yeah.
And tomorrow we will see one more example with different type. Instead of plain text HTML, tomorrow we will see how to develop a web service and how we will give back a JSON response.
Okay.
Tomorrow we will see how we are going to give back as a JSON response and how to get this plugin or how to get this option, how to
Okay.
add this plugin and how to use it. What is these options and all I will explain you tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Tomorrow means next time whenever we are connecting.
Yep.
Okay. See you. Bye. Yeah.
Okay.